Echoes of the Horizon. Chapter 5. The Forgotten Truth.
The storm lashed against the transport's reinforced hull as it tore through the barren wasteland. Aria Velos gripped the controls tightly, her knuckles white as the vehicle bucked and groaned under the onslaught of the elements. Lightning cracked across the sky, momentarily illuminating the jagged terrain ahead. In the back, Dr. Vin Acasta clutched the containment unit, his face pale and drawn. Beside him, Kai Soren checked his plasma rifle, his movements steady despite the chaos around them. "How much farther to this sanctuary of yours, Doc?" Kai shouted over the roar of the wind. "Not far," Vin replied, his voice barely audible. "If we survive the storm." Kai smirked. "That's the spirit." Aria ignored them, her focus entirely on navigating the treacherous path ahead. The sanctuary Vin had spoken of was their only hope, a hidden facility buried deep beneath the wastelands, a remnant of the Earth Defense Alliance. If anyone had the answers they needed about the relic, it was there. The transport jolted as a gust of wind slammed into its side. Aria wrestled with the controls, gritting her teeth as she forced the vehicle back on course. "Hang on," she called out. "This is going to get rough." The storm intensified, and for a moment it seemed as though the transport would be torn apart. Then, as suddenly as it had begun, the winds died down. The vehicle rolled to a stop in the shadow of a massive rock formation, its engine sputtering before falling silent. Aria exhaled slowly, her hands still gripping the controls. "We're here," she said, her voice steady, "or close enough." The entrance to the sanctuary was hidden beneath the rock formation, concealed behind layers of camouflage and automated defenses. Vin approached the entrance panel, his hands shaking as he keyed in a series of codes. The panel beeped, and the hidden door slid open with a hiss. "This place was decommissioned decades ago," Vin said as they stepped inside. "But the systems should still be operational, if we're lucky." "Luck hasn't exactly been on our side," Kai muttered, scanning the dark corridor with his rifle raised. The sanctuary was a maze of metal and concrete, its walls lined with dormant machinery and flickering lights. The air was stale, heavy with the scent of rust and decay. Aria led the way, her visor casting a faint blue glow that illuminated their path. They reached a central chamber where a massive console dominated the room. Vin hurried to the console, his fingers flying across the keyboard as he powered up the systems. The room hummed to life, and holographic displays flickered into existence, bathing the space in an eerie green light. "What is this place?" Kai asked, his eyes narrowing as he took in the array of data. "A research facility," Vin replied. "One of the last EDA sites before the collapse. They were working on, well, this." He gestured to the containment unit, its golden glow pulsating faintly. Aria crossed her arms. "And what exactly is this, Vin? You've been dodging that question since the beginning." Vin hesitated, his gaze fixed on the holographic display. "The relic isn't just a gateway or a beacon. It's a key, part of a larger network designed to access something called the Nexus." "The Nexus?" Aria repeated, her brow furrowing. Vin nodded. "It's a theoretical convergence point where all dimensions overlap. The EDA believed it could be harnessed to solve resource shortages, reverse environmental collapse, even achieve immortality. But the project was abandoned when they realized the risks. Opening the Nexus. It's not just dangerous, it's catastrophic." "Define catastrophic," Kai said, his tone grim. "Imagine tearing a hole in reality itself," Vin said, his voice shaking. "Entities from other dimensions, like the one we encountered in the dead zone, would pour through. We're talking about the end of everything we know." The weight of Vin's words hung heavily in the air. Aria's mind raced as she processed the implications. The Council had known all along what the relic was capable of, and they still wanted it. Why? "So, what's the Council's endgame?" she asked. "Why would they risk unleashing this Nexus?" "Power," Vin said simply. "Control. If they could harness the Nexus, they'd have access to resources and technology beyond imagination. They'd become unstoppable." Kai let out a bitter laugh. "Figures. And here I thought they just didn't like us." Aria ignored him, her gaze fixed on the containment unit. The relic pulsed softly, its glow almost hypnotic. "Can we shut it down?" Vin hesitated. "Theoretically, yes, but it would require accessing the core system of the Nexus network. That means finding the other keys and overriding the system at its source." "How many keys are we talking about?" Kai asked. "At least 3, Vin said. The relic we have is one of them. The others, I'm not sure where they are. But if the Council's tracking us, you can bet they're tracking the other keys too. Great, Kai muttered. So we're not just running from monsters and enforcers, we're in a race. Before they could say more, the console beeped sharply. A warning message flashed across the holographic display, accompanied by a low, rumbling vibration that echoed through the sanctuary. "What's that?" Aria asked, her hand instinctively going to her pistol. Vin's face paled. They found us. The main display shifted to show a live feed from the sanctuary's exterior. A squad of council enforcers was advancing on the entrance, their black armor gleaming in the storm's light. Behind them, a massive, lumbering shape moved through the darkness, a creature far larger than the one they had encountered in the dead zone. Its body rippled with otherworldly energy, and its glowing eyes burned with malevolent intelligence. "That's not just an enforcer," Kai said, his voice low. "That's a damn war machine." "We can't fight that," Vin said, his voice trembling. "We have to run." Aria shook her head. "No, we can't keep running. If we don't stop this now, it won't matter where we go. There won't be anywhere left to hide." She turned to Vin. "How do we shut the relic down?" Vin hesitated, his fingers trembling over the console. I think I can overload its energy matrix, but it's risky. If it destabilizes, it could take out half the wasteland." "Do it," Aria said without hesitation. "Are you insane?" Kai demanded. "That thing could kill us all." "If we don't stop it, we're dead anyway," Aria shot back. "I'm not letting the Council or that thing get their hands on it." The next few minutes were a blur of action. Vin worked frantically at the console, his hands shaking as he manipulated the relic's energy field. Kai and Aria took up defensive positions near the entrance, their weapons trained on the approaching enforcers. The first wave hit hard. The enforcers stormed the entrance, their plasma weapons lighting up the room. Aria and Kai returned fire, their shots precise and deadly. But the enforcers kept coming, their numbers seemingly endless. "We're outnumbered," Kai shouted over the din. "This isn't sustainable." "Just hold them off," Aria yelled back. "Vin, how much longer?" "Almost there," Vin called out, his voice frantic. The relic's glow intensified, filling the room with golden light. The air grew heavy, crackling with energy. The massive creature appeared in the doorway, its bulk filling the space. It let out an ear-splitting roar, and the enforcers fell back, their weapons useless against its shifting form. Aria fired at it, but her shots dissolved into the creature's shimmering surface. "Vin," she shouted, "now would be a really good time." "Done!" Vin yelled, slamming his hand onto the console. The relic emitted a blinding flash of light, and a wave of energy rippled outward, tearing through the sanctuary. The creature howled in pain, its form disintegrating as the wave passed over it. The enforcers were thrown back, their armor sparking as they collapsed. When the light faded, the sanctuary was silent. The relic sat dormant in its containment unit, its glow extinguished. Aria lowered her weapon, her breathing ragged. "Is it over?" Kai asked, his voice wary. "For now," Vin said, his voice shaking. "But we've only delayed the inevitable. The signal's still out there, and so are the other keys." Aria nodded, her jaw set in determination. "Then we find them, and we end this, once and for all." As they emerged from the ruins of the sanctuary, the storm clouds above began to break, revealing a faint glimmer of stars. But Aria knew the battle was far from over. The Nexus was still out there, and the fight to stop it had only just begun.